having lost 4 of those 6 games. Collingwood have lost 5 of the last 6. But this is the one they want to win. They need to win. If they're contemplating September action, Lobe set to go. Collingwood set to go. Out of the middle, McCaffer couldn't take it. Hand pass to Wines, who's been sensational. He can't get clear. Over the top was Big Wits, and he'll be caused to do the ruck work again.
Well, Port Adelaide started with 7 defenders, Collingwood with 6 forwards, so clearly they want to have an extra in their defence. It's a question of whether Collingwood allows that to happen.
Pendlebury and Beams combined to come out wide. An opportunity now for Dwyer. Back in the side this week. A floating punt up towards the 50 and a good strong mark taken by Broadbent.
Wants to go to the open side. Ebert has been best for Port Adelaide the last 2 times they've played Collingwood in 2 wins last year, won the elimination final here on this ground. Heads wide to Paul Stewart, gets there. He started in the goal square of full forward, so all the way up to the wing, and he sees it out of play.
I think they just signalled their intent, Port Adelaide. When we saw Broadbent get the ball, he just wheeled around and took off. They're trying to get that just manic run and almost a chaotic type of play on football flowing.
Lobe and Wits, but it drops shorts to Wines. Poked even wider. Port getting early possession. There's a player down. We'll keep an eye on him. It goes over the head of Lobe. And there's been a free kick for a push in the back.
Interesting matchup. Marley Williams on the very dangerous Robbie Gray, who has maintained pretty good form despite Port Adelaide being down.
Wines in towards Schultz, who's going to get a free kick, is he?
But if you remember back last week, Jared, Marley Williams played on Eddie Betts.
Who got away to a flyer and then he got dragged in.
Yep.
So in Port's attacking zone for the first time. Lobe and Wits will have an absorbing duel throughout the evening. It drops a little short, picked up by McCaffer at the back, and he just spirals a punt kick. Long. Jonas gets a bad bounce. Cloak just tried to pop it towards Elliott. He's well tackled. In fact, he almost handed it back to Cloak. Cloak is held as Wines tries to get through. They've got him as well. They gang tackle Wines, and he's in a mess at the bottom, and he's going to get a free kick.
Must have been some late contact. It looked a really good tackle early.
I think it was the accumulation of 3 half free kicks before that. Umpire cut himself some slack, perhaps. Told to go. Lead from Paul Stewart. That's ignored. He pumps it wider. It's very wide, and Goldsack content to thump it out of play. Good crowd in. Nick Maxwell, former captain, doing a lap of honour pre-game. Collingwood have the opportunity, members, of bringing a friend for free. Bright sunshine, perfect conditions, and huge context for both these teams. And maybe the best save till last for round 19. Beams gets it out, stolen by Hartlett, gave it to Wines. His kick a horror, West off, wrapped up, somehow got it out. Ebert, Hartlett can kick a long ball, sizes them up, nails a monster. How's that for a start?
Well, it's a great goal indeed. You can see that McCaffer is down. He looks like he's rolled an ankle, which is savage news for Nathan Buckley, because he is pivotal to their role of stopping through the middle of the ground. You'll probably pick it up here. There he is, just down in the forefront of that pack. He's gone down. That's a shocking kick, but it comes out with Westhoff just fighting for that ball, quick hands, and this is what this guy is born to do. He's a brilliant kick, and that's a great conversion.
14th goal for Hamish Hartlett. And the power away to a good start. Not so McCaffer.
Didn't look like there was much in the incident. He's initially gone to Travis Boak, and the Port players will be after him. They'll be putting body on him, that's for sure.
We'll keep an eye on it through the agency of David King, because they certainly can't afford to lose him so early on in the game. Here's a chance for White. Check side. Now the bounce, watch out. Usually high, and it is again. No one able to get clear. Jonas is claimed. He's ridden into the ground. The ball is held. And we've got a stoppage 35 metres out from the Collingwood scoring zone. Port leads Collingwood 4-3 as far as head-to-heads here at the MCG.
Free kick. Sloppy play in front of goals.
Can't give those away.
So Beams has the opportunity to answer the Hartlett goal. Directly in front, 40 out.
Stone Bean's underrated, do you think, Jason?
It's an interesting question because we always immediately jump to Pendlebury and Swan, don't we?
Yep.
I think he's right up there with them.
He was very good last week against the Crows. An important kick for Beams and Collingwood. And it's away to the left. It's almost a nervous kick.
Yeah, unlike Dane, generally in front of goals, he's dead eye. And coming into this match, I thought it'd be one that a Kane Corns would go to, such as his damage.
Hasn't quite replicated his 2012. Won the best and fairest and All-Australian that year. Dwyer takes the mark. Armstrong, first game for Collingwood. First touch, side bottom, a mongrel. Carlisle back into the lineup and straight onto Cloak. Got a fist on that. Broomhead, former Port boy from the Magpies, gave to Lumumba and he sprays it.
Too difficult to kick. Needed to centre that ball. Really Lumumba rather than try and pinpoint the one along the boundary line. It's a poor kick, a floater coming out from goal and then a left foot torp from side bottom going back in.
Broomhead's never worn anything but black and white. Played for a great local club, Port Districts, then the Port Magpies, and now making a name for himself at Collingwood. Carlisle. Schultz up. Frost and Lumumba. Second grab. Took it in style in the end.
Thanks, Andrew.
Still a long way from home. That's a low, flat-looking kick in towards the pocket region. Is going to make it difficult for Reid. It's going to be kept in play momentarily. Adams tries to get the hand pass over the top. O'Shea couldn't take it. Port defending grimly. They bring it back towards the half-back line. It's a high, floating punt kick, and it's been marked by Goldsack.
Well, Port Adelaide's got all bar one player back in their defence.
Not 15, so Fasolo's got to go. He does, and Westhoff just plucks it with the one hand, and it's stuck. So they're out of trouble once again. Up towards centre wing. The target was Montfries, back in the side this week, but Fasolo is there once more. Collingwood have got the numbers. Good shepherding keeps Montfries out of business, but it's going to be chopped off by Lobe,
and it's
who marks on centre wing.
Too often, Sandy, they're trying to pinpoint 30 to 40 metre passes, and Port Adelaide are intercepting brilliantly at the moment.
Westhoff hands it back to Montfries. The lead from Schultz. Got two to beat. Armstrong, Frost, Schultz. Frost got hands on it. Almost an arm slap free. Keefe, Beams, Lumumba. Sidestep was okay. Kick was okay as well. Just travelled the required 15. Adams heads wide. Dwyer first to go back and get it. And content to take it out. Have a look at the McCaffrey injury.
No, he just rolls it. Virtually rolled it himself without much contact or involvement from anyone else.
Lobe from behind. Adams leaves it for Broomhead, who's taken the ground.
Well, at the moment, you've got Marley Williams on his own. You've got Steele Sidebottom inside the forward 50. So you've got two extras in defence for Collingwood. Port Adelaide must have extra numbers around the ball. They've got one extra in defence. So they've got one at the stoppage and one backing them up. It's an interesting ploy by the Pies.
Beams could have almost been given a free kick. Broomhead taken off the ball as well. The Corns hand pass is okay to Ebert, who wobbles it down towards the wing, but chopped off once again. Goldsack gets it back to Lumumba. Heretier, short, but it's going to be okay. Elliott has it. Just the two scoring shots today. Elliott passes up to Cloak, who's a long, long way from home. He's got Reid on a lead long, but he elects to go short, and it's a poor kick. It drops short and is marked by Cam O'Shea.
Jared, you were critical of Nathan Buckley's use of the +1 late last week against the Adelaide Crows. You didn't like the way Nathan Buckley used the +1 last week?
No, I like the way he used it to get themselves back into the game, and then Adelaide kept putting an extra back, and they didn't equalise it.
Should they set up for the switch here? Oh, that's a poor kick.
Off hands, Impey. Missed his handball target, still good enough. Wingard called a handball. No, it had to be a throw.
Funny thing is, the funny thing is, if he didn't punch it the second time, I reckon the umpire was just going to let the ball spill out.
And he's the one, Dwayne, of all the players.
Oh, Robbie Gray, a bit overzealous. Moore, centering kick, good spot to hit. Little nudge on Wingard, not paid.
Well, we saw a hands in back played to Lindsay Thomas last night. Perhaps the umpire's a bit gun-shy, but it looked like the hands went into the back there of Chad Wingard.
The rule still does exist. If you put the hands in the back, it's a free kick.
Oh, flyer, but a little too early.
Unrealistic. Tommy, it's yours. Come out, Jas. Time back on. Nah, he's just going straight back. You hold there, Jamie.
So Jonas has it after the Elliott attempt.
Oh, Westhoff's gone down in a tangle with Keith.
And they just switch play here now. Back in the side, Alapati Carlisle.
McCaffer back on the ground, and he's gone straight back to Travis Boak.
He has, Jace. I think they do this really well, Port Adelaide. If you play a ruckman forward, and at this stage it's Jared Witts, they make him work. They try and share the ball. It's a good cut-off there from McCaffer.
Speaking of McCaffer, he was involved in that passage of play, and he beat Boak. They get it down to Cloak.
That's a brilliant kick to Cloak. It made him work.
Open goal square.
To space.
He's got to go long because there's nothing else down there. Which way will the bounce go? In fact, it stops, and it enables the Port defence to come away. Back towards the half-back line, where Jared Pollock is lurking. Pollock will look short to his big man, and he finds it.
Need to switch. They've got numbers out the other side.
But Lobie heads wide. Corns is going to play again next year. Little short pass, or just out of Reed's reach. Wines. O'Shea, a little ugly here. Could have been high on Corns. Gets a lucky reprieve.
That's symptomatic, Wayne, of what's been going on with Port Adelaide this last month or so. Those average kicks inside, looking for the switch into the corridor. They haven't been immediate, and they haven't been hitting targets. And they got away with one there.
Schultz to Hartlett. Has the only goal of the game so far. Held up. He pokes it to Westhoff. Keith got a fist on it, went to ground. Westhoff thumps it in the Schultz direction. Got his arms free. Just knocked away by Frost. It dragged down Adams. Frost went head first. No free. Umpire says keep going, boys. Jonas had a piece of it. Stolen by Beams. Gives it to Armstrong. Had a couple of touches early. Gives it up. Back to Beams. Little fumble. Turns out of trouble. Still makes it work. Broomhead wide. Clock's going to have to go. Carlisle. Gut's got a fist down. Push off Hodge. Trouble. Lucky. Got it to Impey. Port taking it on still. Hartlett. Half back flank. No one to go to. Collingwood spare man waiting for it. Shorts to even.
Went about 13 metres. Each one of the mowing strips is 10. Gives you a guide. But that was a fantastic passage of play. Just 5 minutes of mistake recovery.
Just the 2 scoring shots to date. Beams has been busy early.
I don't think Ollie Wines knew the kick was meant for him. He had to contest the ball then.
Beams called to go. Move it on. And he does. Just the one behind on the board for the Pies at the moment. Broomhead.
And it's 3 against 2. Collingwood versus Port Adelaide. You've got the tools, 2 tools, Cloak and Witts, and 3 defenders. Just one sitting right between the middle.
Elliott juggled it. Short once again in towards half forward. Going to be intercepted, however. Pressure on that man from Collingwood who's come back into the side. That was Tony Armstrong. They're able to keep it inside 50, but it's smashed away. Opportunity now for McCaffer, who has recovered. Which way will it bounce? Not good. Alapati Carlisle gets the hand pass away. Jonas, which way is he going to go? First that way, then this over the head of Lobie. He's got backup support, however, and he needs it too. Wingard is at half back.
Well, Jasper Pittard, Jason, had a chance to mark
the
that.
ball. Yep.
And the defensive punch was good. He read the ball well, but if you don't control it, you can just get yourself in trouble. They got away with one.
Away to Impey on the outer side, and he's looking for his skipper.
So Boak, McCaffer. McCaffer wraps him up. Boak goes ball. No Pryor. Had to get rid of it. Langdon, who was out of the team a couple of days ago, but got a late reprieve with Seedsman unable to come up. Little 1-2 with Armstrong again. He's the loose man at the moment, so that's why he's getting plenty of it. Pendlebury to Frost. Also back in for Solo and straight back into defence. Holds it up. Goldsack. Oh. Could have been worse than that. And hands on his face. Nathan Buckley just trying to stay composed. But they are still goalless after 15 minutes of football.
Jason and Jared, usually after 10 or 15 minutes, you get a gauge as to which way a game is going to go. Any thoughts,
Not so yet, Sandy.
It's a real arm wrestle very early on, isn't it? Lumumba from half back. Comes wide, but that's going to be okay. Elliott takes the mark.
I think the discussion will be the loose man. Collingwood coming forward here into good space, but Pittard's back as the loose. They can't go with the speed they want, lads.
Down on the boundary line, dual premiership player David King sees side bottom drifted in towards the half-forward line. Opportunity now for Dwyer. One of a number of changes by the Pies this week. Cloak.
Well,
Too strong.
Dwyer did really well because he made the loose man commit. He forced his way up to the 50. He got involved, and that made Pittard defend against a bloke he's got no right to defend against. He would have felt like he's in the land of the Giants just then.
68 goals last year, exactly half of that so far this year.
15 gone.
34 goals and 27 behinds. Can he get there first? He leans back on a drop punt and puts through another behind. That's their second. They're down by 4 points.
And you can see the extra player there. Pittard has to take Cloak. And it forces, Adams forces the spare for Port Adelaide to defend and get away from Cloak.
He was a long way away, Carlisle, wasn't he?
Yep.
A long way away. No chance of getting back onto his man.
But to me, that was the secret for Travis Cloak. I think he's got fallen for the trap of engaging the full back rather than working him over. Right now, he's on a bloke who hasn't played for half a dozen weeks. You'll be trying to blow him up physically. Up to the wing, back to the full forward, up to the wing. Just see how far Adelaide can run.
Lumumba just goes for metres and successful. And there is that matchup. Jackson Trengove almost available this week. Will play next week for Port Adelaide. So their key two defenders will be back.
Looks like Corns has gone to beams now, Jared.
Boak. Corns gets one back on him. Wines, Ebert, Boak. That handball missed the target. Wingard tried to make it okay. Wraps up for Solo, takes it to the boundary. He's content to see it across. And we'll get another ball in. 8th game for Solo. Back into the lineup this week.
Well, Collingwood are doing a lot right. They've gone inside forward 50 on 9 occasions. Port have gone inside on 5 occasions. So right around the ground, they're doing pretty well. They just can't score.
Mr. Solo diving in as well, trying to stay in that lineup. It's been a leanish year. But then again, he's been in and out of the side for a couple now. 3 games last year to go with the 8 so far this year.
So Broadbent's loose in defence. That leaves Lumumba loose at the stoppage.
Wingard winds. Moore.
Oops.
Just got his hands free. For Solo again, dives in. Stolen back. Wingard, Polak. Good wraparound tackle on Paul Stewart. They both jump on him.
I think that's a discussion, Jace, with Port wanting to play fast. They want to play a fast brand of football. So the loose man for them will be an offensive mechanism. He'll be geared to go with speed. Collingwood not so much.
And let's remember, Port's had a 14-day break. Collingwood, a 7-day break and a tough game last week against the Crows. So a bit of a reality check for Kenny Hinkley in the last 5 or 6 weeks. After a barnstorming start to the season, Witts tried to do the work and get it out the back. Blair is gang tackled.
Well, they've got Jesse White in the middle of the ground. He's nominally playing as a half forward. I think Broadbent's sliding off from him. But unless he can win the ball, Broadbent's going to win the day.
18.5 minutes gone and still just the 1 goal kicked, and that's going the way of Port Adelaide. The Reid hand pass back into the middle once again. Marley Williams tried to storm his way through, but he's lost the football in the process. An opportunity now for Pollock, couldn't take it cleanly. It was Hartlett initially. Now Pollock trying to get through. Now they're away. O'Shea penetrating to Broadbent. Broadbent from the middle of the ground, long and low. Schultz needs a kind bounce. He was clean bowled. Boak is at the back. The boundary line might beat him. He's taken over.
What do you think about Boak going forward, Jason?
It's an interesting one. Well, we just speak to him prior to the game, and he said whoever McCaffrey goes to, they have a plan for him. So maybe it's pushing him deep into defence and seeing if he's as comfortable there.
Witts with the palm down, stolen back. Robbie Gray, twisted turn. He's been in bed this week. Robbie Gray's been a little ill. Thoughts at one stage he wouldn't take his place in the lineup. And Adams gets the kick away. Bouncing ball to the wing.
Good tap.
Flat clear. Elliott is away. A one-on-one inside 50. Cloak. Carlisle back to the ball. Cloak had position 1A from the outset.
That's when he's virtually unstoppable. It was a brilliant tap. I think it was Reid who got it away to Elliott, and that's just a magnificent kick. Combination for the Pies, getting this bloke one-on-one against his direct opponent. Can he convert from here? This is a good kick. Gave it to his advantage. He was just over the back. That's where he was never going to miss.
They already had a side up, and it took them 20 minutes. But for the first time today, they're in front.
Well, right now, Jason, we've had the best part of a quarter of football, and I don't think we're any the wiser as to which way this is going to go.
It hasn't opened up at all, although the more you look at what's happening, the more you think it has to open up at some stage, because they're playing a frenetic pace. They're trying to rebound and play on at every opportunity when they win the ball at half-back. That's either side. And if they can create these one-on-one opportunities, we're going to see some fast movement of the footy.
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the quarter, and the Pies get their first. Through Cloak to lead by a couple.
Dangerous with Pollock coming off the back of the square. He'll be the one that Port desperately want to get the ball in the hands of.
Westhoff having a run on the ball. The Pendlebury hand pass is okay, but the kick is a little wide. Chance for the speedsters to get going here. And Pendlebury had drifted down. He was able to take the Dwyer ball between centre wing and half forward.
Yeah, it was nice work from Dwyer. Showed good pace.
Short to Elliott. Elliott will go short again. Beams was a target. Wines has had an excellent first quarter. Corns from a standing start, but to who?
Didn't look.
Armstrong is there alone. One of football's nomads. He goes across the ground. He'll switch play now. Fasolo will go even wider. And he does to Goldsack. Goldsack, this is an interesting kick. Porter got the numbers, and they got the chance to get clear. They've got Broadbent in the middle, but he couldn't take it. Hartlett lays a tackle. The ball spills free. An opportunity for Dwyer once again. He puts them inside 50. Can they take a mark? Reid couldn't. Westhoff to tidy up across half back.
Once again, Jason, Port desperate to come inside the corridor.
And kick and nearly got punished.
Yeah, butchered it.
Ball.
Back into the lineup as well for Port Adelaide this week. Told to go. Monfreese back into the lineup as well. No Pryor, play on. Broomhead tight ropes the boundary line beautifully. Keeps it alive to White. Got the runner Adams. Pokes it to Witts. Got it on 50.
Starting to get it together now, the Pies.
Yeah. Pendlebury within range. Time to settle. Wanted to go inside. Handed it up unselfishly. Dwyer sprays it across the face.
I reckon when you're virtually in front of the goal, you're better off with a drop punt rather than bending the ball around. The natural arc of that ball is going to mean you almost have to run at right angles to the goal to get the angle required.
Pitted to bring it back into play, and Beams will cut across Broadbent, who turned 24 on Friday. Has the same birth date as his captain, Travis Boak, who turned 26.
I can look through.
A pensive Nathan Buckley has seen a real arm wrestle right from the opening bounce. Beams, was he taken high? He was, as he got the hand pass away to Adams. It'll come back.
It's an interesting one because it looked as though he ducked under the tackle as it happened, and the ball did come out eventually, but he thought, benefit of the doubt, go back and have the set shot.
The biggest factor in the game at the moment, boys, is that Collingwood are doing a fantastic job at ceasing the defensive counter-attack of Port Adelaide at the moment. They've had 11 chances with ball in hand out of their defensive 50 and haven't gone inside their forward 51. So this is a fantastic plan by Nathan Buckley this week.
So Beams, very slow in his approach. Has kicked 21 goals, 13 this year. Kicks from 49 metres. He's going to just make the distance, but he's got the accuracy, and that's all that counts. Beams has got his first. The Pies have got their second.
And I think we're seeing a reasonable representation on the scoreboard now from what we're seeing around the ground. Collingwood on top, not by a lot, but by enough. They're getting repeat inside 50s, and now they're starting to find their mark.
Just saw the replay there showing that it was Polak who came in with the second tackle that made the high contact on Dane Beams. So good spot from the umpire, but a poor tackle from Polak.
2 minutes to quarter time. Collingwood with all the momentum.
Eyes on it when you jump at it.
Kicked the last 2 goals of the game. Critical contest for both clubs. Lobe in the ruck against him, Witts. Neither got it out decisively and still don't get it out. Pendlebury somehow got himself clear of Westhoff. And Beams on the move. He's got Reid. He's got White. They both go for this. Reid, not the second grab. Gets his own crumb. Couldn't quite get the snap away. Impey could let this roll.
Well, it's a really good tactical battle. It's fascinating, Kingy, just looking at the clearances. Collingwood are dominating. In many ways, they're getting the extra player there. Port Adelaide have got the spare across the half-back line. But Collingwood are now have in the charge of the scoreboard.
5 effective scoring shots to 1 in Collingwood's favour.
One of the things that would be concerning Ken Hinkley at the moment is when Port do win the ball, they're not controlling it. Some of the field kicking's been poor. Some of the decision-making's been poor.
4 clearances to 12. It's the numbers are just extreme at the moment.
Pendlebury got a kind bounce. Side bottom. Tucked in the pocket. Tries to bounce it towards Reid, who stopped and propped.
Did a really good job. Jack Homsey turned him as he tackled him so that he didn't get in his back. Really good technique.
Hence, we've got a stoppage in the pocket. Pendlebury. Is that in the back? Ebert lunged with him. There's been a whistle.
They kicked the goal as well.
Won't be happening. There you go. He said he didn't land on top of it. It looked like Ebert tried to turn Pendlebury but didn't have as much success as Holmes did a moment ago. Does he get him on the side?
Well, I think what we're seeing in the crowd is...
That's a good decision.
A reflection of what we've seen paid over the weekend, and we've seen a lot of those paid as in the back.
You don't want that as in the back, though. He did everything he could to make sure he turned him, and he actually landed on his side.
They've been taking some enormous amounts of time to call for ball-ups this year. That was a very, very slick call and cost them a goal. Ball towards the wing. Frost does brilliantly, beats Schultz. Now needs to deliver it to a chest, and he finds one. Side bottom.
It's not the one he was aiming for. He was looking along to the goal square.
He finds one, not 15.
Good call.
Pendlebury. Stolen back by Hartlett. Again, Port Adelaide out of jail. They are under siege right now.
Feels like he's been stitched a couple of times in quick succession.
Well, that's a really good call, that one, for the umpire.
Yeah.
Didn't travel the required distance. He was under the pump, but he made a good call.
35 seconds left. Ball flicked back to Pollock. Coming off just an 8-possession game last game. Jarrah Pollock hasn't been in spectacular form late this year like he was early this year. We'll get another ball in at 26 seconds left.
I think the story for me at the moment, Jared, though, is that the loose man's working a lot better for Collingwood than it is for Port Adelaide. They're able to control the footy when they win at Collingwood.
Yep. The moment they're getting the big win because they're getting the ball from the clearances. They're getting it forward quickly enough. At the moment, they're orchestrating a one-on-one.
Oh, look at that kick.
Well, that's a mongrel of a kick. It's going to favour Port Adelaide, who are probably the only ones can score with just 12 seconds remaining, and even they will struggle. Dwyer around the body to Heredia Lumumba. Lumumba's got to go long, and they need a mark. He goes in towards full forward. There is no mark. Cloak had it stolen. That could just about be it for the quarter. A fierce second effort by Cloak on the siren. And the Collingwood choir you can hear in the background. But they lead at quarter time, 2 goals, 3-15, with goals to Witts and to Cloak. Port Adelaide kicked the first goal of the game. It seems a long time ago. It was by Hamish Hartlett, but they trail. Great action. A great game with so much at stake in twilight football here on Fox Footy. It's Collingwood 2, 3-15. Port Adelaide, 1 straight goal.
The ball from their defence, as you have rightly pointed out.
Just the one scoring shot for Port Adelaide so far in this game. Back in the middle to start the second term. Lobe dances around. Witts is ready for him. Good bounce, both into each other. Lobe down, Gray in the middle now. Pollock, the push off, and didn't get a handball away. Had to be ball.
That's the pressure around the contest that Collingwood have been absolutely brilliant at.
Witts to Adams. Kick half smothered by Pollock. Lumumba, right spot. Flicks it up. O'Shea, little push off. Got a half handball out. Impey. Pollock. Broadbent.
Good pressure again.
You'd want to come to the open side. There was nothing on offer. Boak in a contest against 3 Magpies. McCaffer, his own man, just missed Williams, so that opens it up for Port. Westhoff. Wines. Wingard. Bouncing ball. Over the top. Schultz. Open goal. Gathers. Goes. Goals.
And once again, it was a centre corridor kick that missed the target that this time exposed Collingwood's defence. The kick was on. It just wasn't well executed, and Port Adelaide were right on top of it. You see Ollie Wines there. It wasn't even his best kick, but such was the openness of the play. He got away with it. And that was one that Schultz would have been absolutely rapt to get hold of.
Jay Schultz gets his first for the day. He booted 49 goals last year. That's number 53 so far this season.
It's one of the few times they've been able to break away into space. Port Adelaide running forward to the footy.
Out of the middle, Pendlebury couldn't take it. Had a busy first term. Blair lends assistance, but he loses it. Had Labumba on one side, but elected not to take him. So it's Adams now who spears a pass in towards Elliott. Elliott marks just inside the 50.
He can go all the way. It's a big kick.
He's going short. He's going to go short. Blair ran into his own man, did he? He's got the footy.
I know they're going to cast. I know what they're trying. Yeah. No, it's control.
So the little man will go back and kick from probably 46 metres and try and answer Jay Schultz. Second term start. Playing in game number 98, so he's approaching a major milestone in his football career. A young man from Wonthaggi, 9 goals 10 so far this season. From 45 degrees, 45 out, and he makes no mistake. There's the answer. Blair gets his first.
Just having a look at Travis Clark and how he's operating in that forward 50 at the moment. He's been targeted 6 times today. You can see him here, bottom of screen, one-on-one with, at that stage, it's Pittard, who was the loose man. We zoom right in. You can see the big body versus the little body there. A pretty soft lead. He gets the dominant position, and once he gets those hands above his head, then he locks that ball away. Here he is on the bigger bodied Alapati Carlisle, just doing his thing. If they can get him one-on-ones, he's the man.
It's a big difference between now and last week, Kingy. Last week, Adelaide orchestrated a 2-on-1 a lot of the times. And today, Collingwood are moving in really quickly and getting that 1-on-1.
Back in the middle, Witts and Lobie again. Almost in the backish. Collingwood fans thought they deserved it. Second one, certainly, when you add them both together, beams. To Pendlebury. Oh, part of the seas beautifully. Straight down the middle. Hands it up. Had a chance for a second in a minute. He does nail it, Blair. No, across the face. Now they're just going to check this to see if it's a score.
Okay, come back in 5 metres from the line.
It's a mark.
They cannot stick a tackle at the moment, Port Adelaide.
You can't win a clearance either.
Not 15. So Ebert told to go. Dwyer stands under it. Ball thumped clear. Moore, Broadbent, Westhoff, O'Shea. They've got the runner open side. It's Pittard. If it sits, he can go. Robbie Gray's running for him. Kick smothered. Marley Williams, awesome. Now on the counter-attack. Collingwood have a huge opportunity.
Let's smother, save the goal. There's 3-on-1.
To Blair. He can keep going. He's got side bottom inside 50. Needs to be a good kick. Free kick. Arm slap against Broadbent. And he might just be within range.
Well, this will be...
Opens it up. Top of the square, Cloak's down there. Reed, White, post.
I was going to say it'd be a 2-goal turnaround, but it was a brilliant smother by Marley Williams, but an incredibly poor kick from Pittard, who's got a man breaking free. Just needs to sit it out in front of Robbie Gray.
So an opportunity going begging there as far as Port Adelaide concerned. After getting the first goal of the quarter, Pendlebury almost unopposed.
We've got a free kick going Port's way here.
He didn't give away the free kick. His ruckman did, and so Lobie.
We're a few minutes into the second quarter. Port Adelaide have gone inside forward 50, Jason, on 7 occasions.
Lobe short to Moore, who in turn goes to Stewart.
As opposed to 19 inside 50s for Collingwood. You're not going to win games of footy with those sort of discrepancies.
Stewart into the middle. Pittard. O'Shea, I should say. And O'Shea goes laterally. So the switch is on. Hobbs.
Oh, I had to go the long option.
Goes short. Broadbent.
By going to Broadbent instead of Ebert with the first kick, it's allowed Collingwood to get a heap of numbers behind the footy.
And so he went in more to Jonas.
And as against Collingwood, they haven't got the tools that Collingwood have got.
Westhoff was the target. Couldn't take it. Beams has been busy. Assistants. And they look up towards centre wing. Pittard's giving chase. Still going. Still going. Well done by White. Showed some strength and agility. Gets clear and gets the hand pass away. The Pies look in towards Cloak territory at 50. Cloak takes the mark, 52 from home. Broomhead screaming for it in the square. The little man with the big heart, he's at the back. And he's got it.
Well, that's one of the better passages of play we've seen Collingwood produce over the last 5 or 6 weeks. It was a good turnover across the half-back line. Jesse White set it up, though. He burst his way clear and then got it to Cloak. And then Broomhead is an impressive youngster coming forward, gets an opportunity.
Distance, no problem. Accuracy, no problem. Broomhead gets his first goal for the season.
You can trace that back a couple of plays before he kicks the goal. Jesse White is not tackled on the wing by Pittard. It's a tackle that just doesn't stick. He then is allowed to continue to play on the balls marked by Cloak and then kick forward and ends up with a Broomhead goal. But the difference in the quality of the tackling is quite stark at the moment. Collingwood's pressure enormous. Port's tackling and defensive efforts pretty average.
Good crowd in. Final game of round 19, and it's going to plan for the most of the fans here.
Wingard into the middle for Port. They're trying to get their key players into the game.
Beams, Lumumba, Adams. Collingwood full of run right now. Back to Beams.
He's having a blinder, Beams.
Possession number 18 coming.
Absolute blinder.
He's had 8 clearances, Jared. He is on fire. He's actually had more clearances than Port Adelaide as a team.
He might have had more kicks too. I'll just do the numbers.
They've got a problem here because the speed on counter-attack is actually favouring Collingwood at the moment. We do know with Port Adelaide, if you can take away their speed, they don't score. Ranked 18th in the competition on slow counter-attack, which is 30-plus seconds from your defensive half. So they're doing a great job defensively, Collingwood. Williams
Flips his way clear. Adams missed the target. Polek collect and go to Gray. Now they've got the overlap working for them. Wines Polek.
Gone.
Wingard sets it up to Monfries. He can run on if he wants to. Paul Stewart in the square. Goes to the square. Brilliant. Keith got back. Thumped it through. Outstanding.
Great defence from Keith, but the good news was it was really good play from Port Adelaide, bar the execution of that last kick. It was the first time that they've linked together and basically had a shot at goal that should have gone through.
Wonderful work by Keith to Williams. To the outer side, Lumumba.
Still Kane Corns running with Dane Beams, Jared, but he hasn't got, effectively hasn't done a real close checking role. Now Corns has only had the 8 possessions. And he's kicking at 20% efficiency. Beams has had 18 and kicked a goal.
He was all over the shop there, Harriet. Yeah, he didn't know where to go. He's gone short to Cloak, who's a long, long way from home.
And I think it's time he just wound that leg rope in about another metre or two.
He does go long, up towards centre wing. Lobe takes the mark. Good, strong, contested mark from the big man. Drifts play into the middle. Lumumba makes good ground. Affects the spoil. Now they can set it up once again. Laying it through the middle. Gets it away to Goldsack. Goldsack goes short inside 50. Elliott thought about for a moment going on, but now goes back and will have a shot almost directly in front, 43 metres out.
Certainly punishing Port Adelaide's turnovers. Again, they kick into the corridor, kick under pressure, a good spoil from Lumumba, and the quick rebound should result in another goal to Collingwood.
It's been the, I guess, most significant symptom of the malaise that they've been in, this inability to go back into the corridor and turn it into goals. In fact, it's going goals the other end.
31 goals, 10 so far this season. Make that 32 goals, 10. Elliott gets his first for the day, and the Pies are starting to open up a very handy lead.
Well, it started at one end of the ground when Lockie Keefe just made enough metres to knock through what looked like it was going to be a certain goal, and then another rebound being turned over through corridor, and Collingwood just running into some space, and Elliott making a smart decision not to play on, to go back and just kick it.
Straight out. Jump with your eyes on the footy. Okay, eyes on it.
Collingwood making a mockery right now of the 7-day break versus the 14-day break. They are hot, and they get another clearance. And they've got players firing for them everywhere. Elliott, centering kick. Cloak, sat on him a little. Still a chance, side bottom off the deck. Kept it alive. Thought about going off the carpet, soccer style. Didn't quite get there in time. Ball in. Collingwood fans enjoying their evening so far. The sun fades on what's been a beautiful day in Melbourne. White. Port Adelaide without their White this afternoon, of course. And that could be 50. It is. Umpire did scream free kick holding the ball, so side bottom probably should have known it was Port Adelaide's ball. That'll bring them all the way up to centre half back and relieve some of the pressure. Biggest lead of the game right now if you've just joined us, 21 points.
And let's remember that the stakes are just as high for Port as they are for Collingwood. Port trying for a top 4 spot. Collingwood trying to sneak back into the 8. He goes short, finding Stewart. Call to go. And he does. Wide to the outer side to Jonas. Jonas, an interesting looking punt kick, finds Montfries.
It's been quiet.
Yeah, he's been very quiet after coming back into the side. Heads towards the 50 now. Pendlebury's lurking again.
Oh, Shepherd out here.
And he's lost this one too.
It'll go to Wines. I reckon he's had the ball taken away from him about 4 times, Scotty Pendlebury, with decisions that have either gone against him or against the teammate.
Playing a sensational game. But it's gone to Ollie. And the umpire just explaining to Scotty Pendlebury that Wines was knocked out of the contest. He's kicked 9 goals, 9 this season. They desperately need one here from Ollie, and he can't produce. One behind.
Just keep an eye on the right here. So it's just Fasolo that steps into Wines and drops the shoulder in him. He's trying to protect the drop of the ball for Pendlebury. Just perhaps a little bit too aggressive.
He did look at him before he bumped him.
Yep.
Can be the giveaway. Elliott and Polak see it out of play.
If he wants to run, you've got to let him, all right?
Umpire's barking some instructions, and there's the great man. In fact, both great men are here. There's David Koch as well.
One would be a little happier than the other at the moment.
Absolutely, but there's a lot of game to be played yet. And a lot of season to be played yet. These teams could actually meet again first week of the finals.
Well, Travis Boger's had a magnificent year, but he's been well beaten in this quarter, hasn't touched it, and his man just got that clearance. He needs to find some footy.
So he just takes off again, Broadbent.
They put him in a Port free, advantage paid, continuation. Corns flicks it wide. O'Shea's got Ebert short, he ignores it. Goes long. West off. Schultz. Wingard front spot. Paul Stewart almost the crumb. Stolen by Fasolo. Goes wide. Boundary line is sanctuary.
Some good signs here, though, Jason, for Port Adelaide. They are, for the first time today, getting some repeat entries into their forward line, getting some time inside their forward 50. Haven't put it on the board yet, but it looks like it's a bit of crawling before potentially a walk.
1 goal 2 to 3 goals 1 so far in this term in favour of Collingwood. Out the back door sneaks Dwyer. They're away. Adams to Dwyer, who's still running. Couldn't quite juggle it initially. Goes again. Manages to get clear. Now they look up towards centre wing. Port Adelaide have the numbers, but I tell you what, the player they had to beat was Elliott, and they couldn't.
Yeah, and that just signifies the dominance at the present time. They did have the numbers, Sandy, you're right, they had the spare, and you can see he's just too late. And Elliott, so strong above his head.
Just got the Talia knee to the head, which knocked Talia out yesterday for Adelaide. Same scenario.
It was completely accidental. He's just trying to get around him and stand on the mark. Just cops a little knee to the temple.
So he's up and he's ready to go. So too is Collingwood. Gets around Impey and kicks in towards the forward line. Here's trouble. Broomhead snaps across the face of goal. Starting to look very dangerous. 5-5 plays 2-2 with 16.5 minutes almost gone in the second quarter.
Once again, though, it was just a fumble from Homsch.
Collingwood are executing all their skills so much better than Port Adelaide, whether it's kicks, marks, tackles, you name it. They're doing it a lot better than Port Adelaide.
Homsch to Moore. Waited for the bounce and let Impey come at it. Wrapped up. Crowd didn't think that was a handball. Side bottom back inside 50, but it's wide. And it's on the full. Free kick Broadbent.
Well, not sure where Andrew Moore was going. He just ran away from the footy once it bounced, expecting to get on the end of it.
Even the handball over the top was just a hit and wish.
He has been one of those that has frustrated a few Port coaches over time. Andrew Moore. All knocked down. Boak. Arms free. On cue. Moore. Did well then. Although, bouncing ball on the wing. Schultz about to kick it to where he'd like to be, and no, he wouldn't like to be there in the grandstand. Free kick Collingwood now. Right now, playing the best of the two brands of footy. 21 points the margin, equal biggest margin of the game as we are about to tick into time on second term.
Jason, if you're Ken Hinkley, you know you're having a bad spell. You've just got across the line against Melbourne. You had a week off. A couple of blokes have been in bed that are significant players for you. What does he do at half-time? What approach does he take?
Cloak will just watch him. After taking from Langdon, goes out towards Reed territory. Couldn't take it cleanly. Impey shrugs a tackle. He has a bounce. He gets clear. He can have another bounce, and he does. Defensive 50. He spears a pass into Westhoff. That was an absolute beauty. What's he got downfield? Stewart makes space. He's got to wait for the ball. He does, but he gets clear. Stewart does well. Heads for home. It's a high ball. Collingwood with the numbers once again, and it's thumped defensively over the line for one behind by Langdon.
Well, great example there. I mean, for me, that's a dreadful kick out.
That was bizarre. Pendlebury actually made it look okay. Back to Langdon. Back to Frost, and now Collingwood's defence under pressure. Williams to get them out of trouble. Short, Keefe, Polek. Keefe too tall.
For me, Jared, they just continue to execute poorly. It's nothing structural that I don't think Ken Hinkley can actually do to help. There's too many players that cannot hit a target, cannot stick a tackle. It's just been poor all round. Even that last kick from Stewart into Schultz, he kicked it way too high. It needed to be a low penetrating kick to get there quickly before Collingwood got numbers back.
I still think you'd be worried about these clearances and their contested ball. They're getting well beaten for the second quarter in a row in an area where they've been pretty good over the last 18 months.
Westhoff gets the clearance. Little slip from Frost. Hassle from Schultz, but Goldsack in the spot for Solo. Wants to take it to the open side. Nice pass. Langdon sees Williams running. Gets to Lumumba in trouble instead of giving it over the top to Williams. No Pryor. Ball up.
Tommy Langdon telegraphed it, didn't he? He waited and waited and just floated the hand pass over the top, and he was always going to be in trouble.
Well, he's down on confidence at the moment. He was dropped, as you said, Dwayne, and he's made a couple of horrible blues in the last 5 minutes, but hasn't been burnt on one of them yet.
Frustration on the face of Nathan Buckley telling the story. And this time he kicks it wide and puts it out of bounds on the full. So Langdon just having a couple of minutes that he would prefer to forget.
But they have lifted Port. They're getting these repeat entries, but still unable to hit the scoreboard.
Let's see what they can do this time. Schultz was one of the flyers. Wingard waiting down. Left foot snap by Wingard is good. That's what they need, and it might just get him going.
Well, even if you've got magicians inside the forward 50, and even if they're down on their tricks at the present time, they can't do it unless the ball gets in there. All of a sudden, we're getting the repeat entries from Port Adelaide, and Wingard, who's been down, he finally finds the magic around the corner, and this might just set him alight. If you were Nathan Buckley, you'd be really concerned that the match winner has all of a sudden found the magic again.
All Australian and Port's best and fairest last year. Still blue skies, sun fading, and Port Adelaide just starting to find it a little. Dying stages, second term, 6.5 left. Umpire will ball it up again. Both teams going solo ruckman. Port Adelaide not necessarily by choice, just Lobie. The rest of them injured. Grundy, an emergency for Collingwood, not played by them this afternoon. Keith caught from behind. Got a handball, knocked out in the tackle. Paul Stewart and Robbie Gray. So knocked out in the tackle, the umpire said.
And I think he got it right. He helped handball it at the same time, but that's irrelevant. The issue is the pressure's coming up. Port have won a couple of clearances and they're now getting some entries, and the Guns are getting the ball in their hand. And if they can go in at half-time, 2 goals down, even less, that'd be an enormous get-out-of-jail card played.
From directly out, and that could be another fire starter for Port Adelaide. Back to single figures.
Let's have a look at Port Adelaide's strength. It's their forwards that can get forward of the ball and create space when they provide some counter-attack speed. You can see in the middle of the ground there, you've got Armstrong versus Monfries. He just goes. He takes off as we zoom right in 10 yards to the right-hand side, the absolute centre circle. He knows where it's going. He knows they want to go quick. He gets on the end of this play here and drives the ball to goal square. This is fantastic defensive play. It's probably been the statement moment for the Collingwood Football Club defensively.
So we're back to an 8-point ball game.
Well, it's pleasing if you're a Port Adelaide supporter, because I think they've been pretty much outplayed in the first half, and they're only 8 points down.
And Lobie tries to chop his way clear. He can't do so. Needed assistance from Boak, but couldn't get the ball to him.
Conversely, if you're on the Collingwood wagon, you just want them to continue to do what they're doing, and you think the reward's got to come at some stage.
Adams' kick was touched, so play on is the call. Boak has been pretty well held. O'Shea with the fend off. Dustin Martin.
Oh, a dangerous kick.
You could hear Jason say it is dangerous. Armstrong through, got the hand pass away. Adams out wide. Collingwood now looking to try and answer. Beams, as you can see, he's outside 50, but he goes long. In towards Reid and Cloak. They're both there. Cloak out the back, kicks the goal.
Well, you said it, Jason. It was a dangerous kick. It was a horrible kick into a massive players, and in the end, Collingwood bobbed up with it.
They're their own worst enemy, Port Adelaide. Every time they kick into the corridor, Jared, they turn it over, cost them a goal.
Well, here we have a 2-on-1. Now, you could argue whether that was a free kick against Cloak. You could also argue, I think it was a mark, but in the end, he's got it out the back and slammed it through.
It'd be a brave umpire to pay a free kick against Cloak after last week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, very good point you make. 41-27, Nathan Buckley. Did a lap of the tan here in Melbourne around the Botanic Gardens with the head of the umpiring department, Wayne Campbell, early this week. Fortuitously, just accidentally. Witts. McCaffer. Outside of the boot, Jesse White. Broadbent, White the slap on. Dwyer lurking. Didn't quite sit for him. Still good enough to break free. Side bottom. Cloak. Doesn't need to. Just across the face.
Back to 15 points once again. Broadbent.
Watch behind me. Really now. Play on.
And that's really good defence from Collingwood. There's no real option, so it's up in the air, and this will be a contested ball.
Lobie is the man, and he's done well.
And Bucks will be filthy on Jared Witts for not just making that a contest. Great grab from Lobe.
A little bit of the run's dried up.
He's called to go, but he doesn't know where to go. Eventually he goes wide to the outer side. Langdon on Polak. Polak has the better of it. Gives it off to Montfries. One bounce, two bounces. He can run here. He could have had another one, but he elects to spear the pass short, and it's going to be okay. They've got another one running in towards half forward. Blair, it bounced off his back. Came towards his teammate there in McCaffer. Couldn't do anything with it. Goldsack has it ripped away from him. He goes to ground. McCaffer's over the top, and we've got a stoppage just inside 50.
Well, Alex Fasolo, he's just got to get tighter on that half back line. He allowed his man to lead him to the ball to create a 2-on-1 and bring the ball into their forward line.
Lobe Westhoff a little dribbler almost. Just about beat everyone except O'Shea. Gave it back to his teammate there. Well, he couldn't do anything with it, and it's a high ball that's finishing on the wrong side of the big sticks. Fourth behind goes on the board.
Doesn't look overly impressed, Ken Hinkley.
No.
I think he realises they're just not playing anywhere near their capabilities.
8 scoring shots to 12. 6-6 plays 4-4, and Fasolo brings it in with 3 minutes to play.
It's that high bomb release, and O'Shea read it beautifully. He did.
They're just slow with their ball movement, and they just keep missing opportunities to hit open players.
Shorts with 4 to beat here. Hits the deck. Montfries lurking. Kept it alive. Corns off the touch. Sprays that. Inside 3 minutes to half time.
And this time the skipper takes kick-out duties.
Play on.
Picks himself up another stack.
Described by Anthony Hudson yesterday as a selfie.
Yes, it's a pretty good description too. Here's Boak. And good use of the body there by Williams. With strength, got rid of Montfries.
Flat footy, I think he's called.
Yeah.
We change that ball, it's flat as.
It's flat as, said the
Yeah, we're going to
umpire.
use that ball though, mate. We're going to use those balls. I'll stay with the mark, Dino, just so we know where it is.
We did see a couple of floaters early in the game.
Yeah,
we did.
There's one flat one in the rotation.
Hang on.
It's interesting, as soon as he took the mark, Marley Williams, he said, no, that's flat. So it turned straight to the umpire. Said, flat agate here, no good. Which ball are we going to use?
He's going to use the one that was behind the goals. An interesting throw from the umpire.
Lack penetration, Sandy.
Yeah, he's not going to make it as a boundary umpire.
Oh,
that's
why
for
wouldn't he
sure.
just kick it?
Williams. Ready to go now with one that's pumped up. It's a helicopter punt up towards centre wing. Pendlebury couldn't take it cleanly. Carlisle hand pass a little loose to Broadbent. Wines now. Out wide. Westhoff marks just inside the line. Inside 50, and he wants to go to the top of the square again. Port with the numbers, and it's side bottom who comes crashing over the top and thumps it defensively through for one behind.
I'm a bit like Ken Hinkley. If you can explain that kick to me, you're a genius.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do or who he was looking for.
And within kickable range at Westhoff at his best.
Well, in the last 6 minutes, Collingwood have had 6 entries inside. Port have had 6 entries inside their forward 50. Collingwood have had just the 2. It's 2 goals 3 to 1 goal 1. So they're coming, Port Adelaide, but they haven't quite bridged the gap yet, as we can see.
Schultz up early. That was another entry, but another high bomb entry. And it's bombed out by McCaffer. Bouncing ball. Carlisle. Unkind bounce initially, but he read it nicely. Broadbent heads wide. Westhoff his target again. Played for the nudge in the back free. Didn't get it. Montfries to the boos from Collingwood fans for Angus Montfries every time he gets it. And the ball out of play. 2 kicks in it. 12 points the margin. And played for it and didn't get it.
Went down a little easy. It was a poor kick coming in from Broadbent. Poor option.
So just over a minute remaining in the half. Lobe front spot. Can they get another one before half time? To the top of the square once again. Boat got a bad bounce. Montfries is lurking. Langdon is there. It's touched and over the line for behind. So that's 3 behinds they put on in the last 6 minutes.
was very one-sided, the inside 50s earlier on. It's starting to even up a little bit, 27 to 21. The last 5 to 7 minutes, it's been all Port Adelaide down this end. They're just not quite capitalising.
An 11-point ball game. Beams under some pressure, but he takes the mark in the pocket.
Possession number 20 for Dane Beams.
Been fantastic, hasn't he? In opposition to Corns.
But given where the game was 10 minutes ago, Ken Hinkley would be pleasantly surprised, I think, at just where they're at. They're in with a chance now, whereas 10 minutes ago that looked they were a goal away from going right under.
Hartlett forward, and he needed a mark, but it wasn't provided because Langdon was there with the fist.
Just looking at Dane Beams' 20 possessions, 12 contested, 8 clearances, and he's kicked a goal.
Lobe slaps it down. Williams read it well. Lumumba took them on. A central ball, not where he wanted it to go, even under it. Not clear. Broadbent, little fumble. Hartlett, little fumble. Blair, little jump in the back, not paid. Homsch, Ebert, Homsch, another inside 50, Boak on his range.
He's looking for an option, he's looking for someone.
7 seconds left. Bangs it long, a floater, a mongrel, a goal! On the siren, that hurts! Maybe a momentum changer. Collingwood been in control since halfway through the opening term, and at a half-time here in a critical game for both clubs, we are no closer to knowing who the winner might be to finish round 19. Collingwood by 5, 6-6-42 to 5-7, 37.
Port Adelaide, but we've been saying that for a long time now. And there's a fair bit of upside for Collingwood. Reid has to get hold of the footy. Elliott can also do a bit more.
So here we go, second half. Lobe and Witts to get the ball rolling. The Pies leading by just 5 points after the Boat goal on the siren in the second quarter. Pendlebury, as the boys have just said, a wonderful first half.
He should be pinged, Ollie Wines.
He's going to be.
All he did was jump on it and then hold it in.
The umpires have been so much better on that since the first half of the season, where they're paying some free kicks, preventing the old cluster from formulating.
For Solo, a worm-burning pass.
It needed to be a good one.
Towards the middle to Beams, who's picking up yet another possession. In towards the 50. Oh, Reid, that was wonderful.
That was brilliant by both players. Hamish Hartlett, he put his body on the line. He came in at 100 miles an hour and did everything he could to upset the mark. But that's one of the great marks that we've seen this weekend. You would have liked to see him taken in the hands, but take nothing away from him. That was just a courageous grab.
Game number 97 for Ben Reid, who's had an injury-riddled year.
Well, I said just a couple of minutes ago, there's a lot of upside for this bloke. As you said, Sandy hasn't played anywhere near enough footy this year. First game back last week, got a little bit of a taste of it. This would be a huge goal.
Tell you what, Collingwood fans would love this. If he's straight and if he's long enough from 53 metres, he won't. It's into the square. Big pack of players. Lobe is sitting on that ball, but he's probably not the only one. White picks himself up, and we've got a ball up.
Good spot for a ball up for Collingwood, but Adelaide can't rush it through from there with a big knock through. Broadbent, wrapped up, dragged down. And a good spot for a ball up for Collingwood, directly out from goal. Carlisle and Cloak back on the goal line. Both ruckmen miss it. Elliott almost legged. Tackle did drop down, Ebert, and that's off Reid. And a high three behind the ball on Ebert's ball. Crowd didn't necessarily agree with it. West off.
That's a great kick.
Still taking it on down the middle, as they like to do. And that's a spear to Wingard, who can go. Wines running for him long. Puts it long. Wines, will he go high? He waits down, used his body, kept goal side. And that was really all he could do.
Probably needed to use his body a bit more stronger than he did in the finish, Jason.
He had good position, just needed to make some early contact with Goldsack and allow that contact to bump him back to where the ball was going to drop.
So can they capitalise? Well, they've got it deep in their attacking zone. Ball goes to ground. Boat. It's a kick that just dribbles across the face of goal. Wine's lurking. Fasolo tries to pull it in. Wine's still there with him. Boat gets another opportunity from Hartlett. Swings it round, but not enough, and it goes out of bounds on the full. Still a 5-point ball game. The crowd perhaps a touch disappointing, maybe nudging 40,000.
They're about to hit 80,000 members, Collingwood. 80,000.
Really interesting if Port Adelaide kicked the first goal here, because Collingwood have seemingly controlled the game, basically, but if Port Adelaide all of a sudden hit the lead, that's going to be a big mental hurdle for the Pies.
Langdon's kick sees Pendlebury with it now. It's got class written all over him, but Westhoff steals it. Not for very far, however. Blair, in towards the middle they go. Now, can Collingwood mount a charge? The hand pass was a little poor. Goldsack recovers. Comes out wide to Williams. Williams goes back in towards the middle once again. Pressure on side bottom. Broadbent persistence. Does well. Now the opportunity for Ollie once again. Penetrating hand pass is good. Robbie Gray, can he finish it off? He goes wide to Hartlett. Hartlett from 25 out kicks the goal. That's what they wanted. Port hit the lead.
And Bucks would be entitled to be frustrated because a couple of really poor errors have allowed Port Adelaide to start to play their brand of football, and I think that was what was significant about this play, Jason. Port Adelaide had extra numbers. It was a shocking kick. It was a good intercept from Westhoff, but have a look at the numbers here coming to support. There's one handball, there's two, there's 3 or 4 options on either side. He picks the outside one. Hartlett dominates.
Second goal of the game for Hamish Hartlett. Kicked the opening goal of the game to that end. Port Adelaide did lead at that stage of the game. Back in front by a point. The umpire recalls it. They've done a pretty good job so far. Dean Margetts, Matthew Nichols, Scott Jeffrey, the umpires in control the afternoon. Has been a good one so far. Tight encounter between two finals contenders. Wine, slick hands, but Corn's under pressure though. He flicks it up, going backwards to go forward. Port Adelaide. Jonas, Polak, Impey. Side bomb. Unkind bounce with 3 players around it. Keefe. Bounce kindly for him. Back to side bottom. Flicks it wide. Again, another unkind bounce. Ebert wrapped up. Had a piece of it. Dropped it. Polak. High into the tackle was Adams. Side bottom, Lumumba. Another little fumble. Got out of trouble. And doesn't quite hit his target. Still a chance at Dwyer. Around the body. Bizarre. Horrible, yet brilliant.
Well, there's a couple of great efforts there by Taylor Adams, a recruit for the Pies from the GWS. If that's any indication of where he's going to go with his career, then he's going to have a long, distinguished one. A little fumble there. Been a couple of those for Heredia tonight. And we got it lucky with that kick, but this was a brilliant return.
Good shepherding on the line. Travis Cloke's driven Carlisle about 2 metres over the goal line.
So the Pies regain the lead thanks to Sam Dwyer. Pendlebury also having a spell. And you see the contested possessions, 75 from Port, 80 for Collingwood.
Boat going forward again with McCaffer.
Adams taken out of it. Lumumba an opportunity. Gets clear of Polak. Adams tumbling it up towards Elliott, who got a bad bounce. Reed's at the back. He needs Elliott, and he's got him now.
Great tackle.
He was tackled. He was trying to get the hand pass away, but the hand was held. It was great defensive work. Corns gets it away. Now Port out of trouble. Collingwood have the numbers. Boat's got the work to do. Fasolo says, catch me if you can, and he can't. So they're out of trouble. Only momentarily. Poor kick in the end by Keefe. Opens the door, but he goes again. Schultz is in trouble. Langdon's got him. They're on the boundary line. The umpire says, I'll have it.
Well, he must have tried the quick hand pass.
He did.
And the umpire spotted it. That's really good umpiring.
And great work from Langdon. A couple of efforts there. Intercepted the handball, followed up with a tackle. Made a couple of blues in the second term. He won one back there.
Intensity's lifted a gear. Gang tackle again. Another ball up. Collingwood have played finals the past 8 seasons. Last missed back in 2005. And they'll be inside the 8 tonight if they get up. They'll be outside if they lose. Polling. Ducked high.
Oh, no, he put his head
Another ball up.
down there. That's a duck.
They've got to somehow make Jesse White drag his opponent. You can see him there on bottom right-hand side. Homps is about 30 metres to his right. He's trying to get a 2-on-1 with Travis Cloak. But if they can get the ball in Jesse White's hands, it means Homps gets exposed.
Corns kick smothered. Again, a crazy scramble. The umpires found a high. Collingwood's way, so they'll finally clear from the congestion.
Langdon. Fasolo calling for it laterally, and he goes even further than that to Williams. Williams can go to Armstrong, and he does. Armstrong down the line. That's going to be okay.
Good running
by
here.
Keefe. So they're maintaining control. White in towards the half-forward line. The mark not taken. Wingard to Lobie. The big man finds Broadbent. Tumbles a punt towards Robbie Gray, and he holds it.
Brilliant.
Slips catch by Gray, and he's away. Inboard to Wingard, back to Gray. Gives a little ground here towards Broadbent. Got a B-grade bounce. The door might open for Broomhead. He shrugs one tackle, gets caught on the second, and it's going to get done.
Just good footy at the present time. Ball being won back because of great tackling. Jesse White has an opportunity. It's under the pump where those kicks have to hit targets, not a half-metre short.
So Port maintaining control, drifted in towards the middle. Moore back in the side, gives it away up towards the half-forward line. Over the head of Westhoff it goes. That's going to come unstuck, although Ebert intercepts. He takes a fine mark.
Well, that was a slack kick coming out of half-back. To kick it straight to Ebert was disastrous. Good well done.
Had Westhoff on.
Ebert from 60 metres goes long. He's almost into the square. In fact, he is over the top. Montfries was outnumbered. Well, it is freak week, isn't it?
A quiet day for Robbie Gray.
Lumumba turnover. Ollie Wines. Not a lot to go too long. Needed to find a pass. Shorts. Jesse White had a huge piece of it.
Yeah, it's a good call from the umpire. It's a good grab in the finish. And Lumumba, it's just something wrong with his disposal tonight. Maybe getting them all under pressure, but he's a much better player than he's showing with the ball at the present time.
Collingwood are pushing Scott Penderbury forward of centre at the moment. He's trying to get to full forward. He's trying to become a target down there. I think it's a good move, Jared.
Well, they're doing the same with Travis Boak. So both mids, both skippers, are trying to break a tag by doing it. Got to get it inside 50 to make them get it exposed, though.
And Moore got there. Again, they try the corridor. Corns wants to come inboard. Paul Stewart calls short. That's ignored. Collingwood with a spare man back. Westhoff in a 1-on-2. Beats them both. Hands it off to Hartlett. Goes the long bomb. That's his forte. He's as good as it gets from that range. He's got 3.
Well, 3's a good number because it was 3-on-1 against Justin Westhoff.
We both groaned when Kane Cornish decided to ignore the short leads and kick it to Westhoff. But he was good enough to beat them all, Jared.
It was an incredible effort. Frost, I think, is one of the most improved players in the competition. And he learned something there. You just have to go, particularly when you're bodying up a bloke who's a lot bigger than you. But Hamish Hartlett, he's one of the great kicks of the competition. Great finish.
Goal for goal in this third quarter, and the lead changes hands again. Port Adelaide by 2 points. From 12 minutes gone. Lobie, first attempt. Ebert gets boot to ball and pushes it out wide. Collingwood may have the numbers through Armstrong if he can get there. He can, but he's claimed. Got it away to Lumumba. Now Dwyer. Pendlebury back to Henrietta. And here he goes again. Surging down towards the middle of the ground. But Adams changes direction. In fact, he almost goes backwards to side bottom.
I think the distance stretched him a bit and he had to kick it round his body. He's lucky he gave it to a very talented, experienced player.
Here's Langdon. Up inside 50 once again. There's holding on from both sides, so Carlisle plays on. O'Shea couldn't take it. Blair's hand pass to Cloak. Cloak's left foot snap in towards goal. White couldn't take it. Soccer's off the ground, but he's wide and one behind.
I like the approach of Alapati Carlisle in this quarter, Jason. He's
playing in front.
Playing in front. He's making Cloak defend a couple of times. Nearly cost him there.
Yeah, well, he gave a hand pass to a teammate that had a bloke right on him who got the shock of his life, but he got away with it.
Jonas Long, Hartlett flies. Beams right with him. Ball hits Moore. Beams wraps him up. Port Adelaide by a point. Port was top of the ladder. 10 wins, 1 loss. Round 12. Since lost 4 of their past 6. Westhoff, third man up. Pendlebury. Beams.
Oh, kept it in.
Wines. Westhoff. Hartlett. Not a lot to go too long, so has to maintain possession. Boak comes inside to Stewart. Outside of the boot pass. Robbie Gray went to ground. Stolen by Sidebottom. Put Williams under immense pressure. And the boundary line was his friend there. Ball in.
You can see Robbie Gray. He's hunched over. He's got the hands on the knees. He's really struggling. I think he's one of the ones that's perhaps hit hardest by the gastro, as we see Tyson Goldsack getting worked on. But Gray's only had a handful of possessions. Really struggling.
From the throw-in.
This is the bloke that's getting away from him.
Yeah, he's kicked 3, he's kicked 4. Hamish Hartlett has 17 for the season.
Well, it's the best 10 minutes of play that they've produced, I reckon, for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Port Adelaide, they fell in against Melbourne, which was a victory and an important victory. But this last 10 minutes, and maybe the 5 minutes just before half-time, has seen them start to run and start to give the first decision, which have added up to some pretty good goals. But this was just a solo effort. Clearance special.
3 goals for the quarter. Hamish Hartlett, 4 goals for the game. He's always had the goods. He was picked 4 behind Watts, Nat, Nui and Hill.
It's an important number right there. 6 clearances to 3 after being dominated in clearances in the first half. Port Adelaide starting to get their share now.
Pollock somehow got it out. Paul Stewart. Handball missed the target. Broadbent gets back. Westhoff. Good attack from Elliott.
Well, Goldsack back onto the ground as a spare player in defence. His pace is significant when it's missing.
This is Port Adelaide's biggest lead of the game. They did lead by 6 points early, 7 right now. Pendlebury, sidestep, clever. All class. Didn't quite hit the target with the handball. Still a chance. Adams dives in, flicked up. Westhoff off the deck.
Much better numbers around the ball at the present time, Port Adelaide. They are winning far more contested ball as a percentage than they did in the first half, and just their work rate's gone up, Jason.
Well, now the challenge is, can Collingwood answer? They've got to find something now. Can't expect Port Adelaide to give them the game.
Westhoff just tried to flick it towards Wingard, who keeps it in with a left foot kick but goes straight onto the chest of Armstrong.
Slow footy.
Armstrong. Oh, he goes way back.
They have got numbers to switch it.
And that's what they're going to do. Down by 7 points at the moment, the Pies. Frost, one of the few who enjoys these wintry conditions in Melbourne the last couple of days. He goes down the line. Not a good kick. And a bad bounce too for Dwyer. Lamumba gives it to Dwyer eventually. Spins out of trouble. Elliott wanting someone down at the forward line, but all he found was Wingard. Trying to crash it through was Ebert. It's going to be locked up on centre wing.
Well, I don't think Chad Wingard's having a special game either. We saw him kick a really good goal earlier, but had an opportunity there and participated in a turnover. 13 possessions and a goal for Wingard, just not his normal self in terms of impact.
But you must be frustrated if you're one of the tall Collingwood forwards and Jamie Elliott gets the ball and he kicks it 25 metres inside to Port Adelaide, as against ignoring one-on-ones. You'd be entitled to ask a question.
Pollock thumps it long. Schultz backs back. Robbie Gray's there. No free. Armstrong can rush it behind. He's under enough pressure. Thought about it. Goes wide. Pendlebury. He's everywhere. He'll be a lot further behind without him right now. Side bottom. Pendlebury up to 22 possessions right now. Was averaging 30 this year, but has hovered around the 20 mark the last month. Most
on the ground. Beams 21, Ollie Wines 21.
But it feels like Collingwood's holding the tide back at the present time.
Frost, there's that inboard kick. Works Langdon.
Manufacture a goal from somewhere.
Cloak comes up. Carlisle went to ground.
Yep.
Cloak about to peel back onto it. Reeds in the square. Lumumba. Short pass and terrible pass. Horrendous pass. Westhoff.
He read it well, didn't he?
He did. Delightful pick-up from Ebert on the half volley.
They're on in the corridor if he hits the target.
Back to Westhoff, and he does. O'Shea. Now they can run. They got a runner out wide.
2-on-1.
And they got the numbers. Montfridge traps it well. Gives it off towards Boak, who spears a worm-burning pass to Robbie Gray, but he can't trap it cleanly. Gray is playing a lone hand. He's got to beat a couple. Goldsack was one. Trying to storm his way through was Keefe. Couldn't get out of it. Eventually, it's side bottom. Ball was touched, so they've got to play on. They maintain possession to Armstrong. Almost down to the middle. Wide to Adams. Adams has got a little bit of room. He has a look downfield. Again, Port Adelaide with the numbers. But they go to ground. The door opens for Reid. Swings round onto the left foot. Now, Cloak with his strength. Nipping in front was Elliott. Couldn't take the mark. Impey heads to the boundary line. How deliberate is that?
That's ridiculous.
In front of 25,000 Collingwood supporters in that particular pocket.
Played on, and look at this.
Broomhead.
Good spoil.
Couldn't take the mark. It was well spoilt. Pushed towards the line and over.
I don't know what he was doing. It's funny, you can't imagine what goes through players' minds to not think that that's going to be considered deliberate.
He's running with the Donald Dickey Mohawk as well. Jarman Impey.
Get a player, teammate, 2 metres to his left.
Wits down, tried for Pendlebury, missed him. Hartlett somehow through the traffic to Corns. Outside of the boot. Schultz.
Gee, that's a win to get possession there because they had a wall of loose defenders back, Collingwood.
You know they want to come in corridor. They're ticking the time on.
He's got Montfridge all on his own too in the corridor if they can see him.
Corns back in and back out. Westhoff. Got away. He'll want to come in if he can. Keeps it wide. Goldsack had the help from Keefe. Gets it from Keefe. Tight ropes the boundary for Solo. Good grab.
We've got a major problem with Justin Westhoff at the moment, Collingwood. He's just #1 possession winner for them on the ground.
Lumumba, short pass. Wits thinks about going for goal. Opens it up beautifully. Broomhead.
Young man with a lot of responsibility right now. They've lost their mojo, Collingwood. They need to just grab a goal from somewhere. They've got an opportunity. Got to bury this one.
Have spent a bit of the last 2 drafts investing heavily in the future. Tim Broomhead, their pick 20 from a couple of years ago. After a year of glandular fever holding him back, he looks the goods and he cuts the margin back to 1 point.
We've seen in the last couple of weeks, Jason, he looks a player.
He's got some quality about him, and that's a very cool finish. He's very comfortable in front of the big sticks. Puts himself in good position. Hard running was good from Jared Witts. He didn't just panic when he got the ball. He actually had a good look around, saw a couple of players in space. He didn't blaze away when it looked like he might. He just thought, all I've got to do is give it a bit of air, make no mistakes. Should be a goal.
Port Adelaide made their substitution. Ben Newton into the game and into the middle, right into the heat of where the action is. Paul Stewart's the man he replaces.
Yeah, we can see Paul Stewart with the red vest. Broomhead, 2 goals now. Can Port Adelaide answer? Lobe tried to get it out.
Langdon with a big job on Hamish Hartlett.
Blair tried to find Adams. Corns still gets it off towards Hartlett. Pitted gets it wide. Port Adelaide go up towards half forward. Not a good kick for Bogan. He goes to ground. The door opens for Marley Williams. Gives it away. And they're out of trouble once again. Through Keefe. Short and wide. That's okay to Dwyer.
You know that Port Adelaide are going to give Collingwood a chance because they continue to kick to 1-on-2s and 1-on-3s when they go forward.
Call to play. Goes to his big man almost next to him in Keefe.
And the big cross is on.
And it is to Frost, who's got a hectare. Elects not to use it all. He gives it to side bottom, who's got Goldsack. If he wants him, he does. Goldie can go. He gives it straight back. Now they look in towards the 50-metre arc. Ball spills free. Alapati Carlisle. Interesting little toe poke, but it's effective. Call to play on because it wasn't the required distance. So he goes inboard and finds Ebert. Ebert gives it away once again to Broadbent. A couple of bounces almost into the centre.
No one forward.
No one forward at all. He knew that. He was running laterally, then eventually had to take the kick straight to side bottom. Who's taking his time, but time is one thing he has.
And that's why I say they're going to continue to give Collingwood a chance to hurt them on the rebound because they're just not thinking when they get the ball, Port Adelaide. They just had to find some short options to hold possession.
O'Shea got there, but he drops at Broomhead to make him pay. Pendlebury ducked into a high. Well done.
This is the kick for Collingwood, though. They've butchered too many going inside forward 50, and that again, he's just missed his man Dwyer.
Cloak, not the third grab. Still keeps it alive. He missed his target. Ducked away. Adams lays a tackle. Tries to hold it in the area. Beams. Broadbent. Umpire to sort it out.
Too cloak focused. Dwyer was sitting there 30 metres on his own. They're just killing themselves here, Collingwood, because if you turn it over just inside the forward 50, it is rushing back and they are burning some fuel.
Side bottom breaks free. Parts the seas. Hammers it goalward. Kicks an absolute ripper.
One of the goals of the weekend, that one. Side bottom's just hooked it on the boot. He had everything working for him there, but the clearance was quite superb. It was as good as Hamish Hartlett's at the other end. It's a great treat at the present time. Great tap out from Jesse White, and then just banged it on the boot.
Sidebottom gets his first, but more importantly for the Pies, they hit back in front. They lead by 5 points. A couple of minutes remaining in this third term, so it's all set up for a huge final quarter.
At the moment, they've got Lockie Keefe as a spare man. I suspect Westhoff will be floating around the other end. Broadbent it is at the moment.
Lobe wins it, but can they take it out of the middle? Comes it back to the big man. Ebert gets caught, ripped to the ground. How's he going to be judged? Play's allowed to go on. Little toe poke. O'Shea caught by Beams. Adams tries to soccer off the ground. Corns hand pass. Put his teammate under the pump. That was Schultz. He did cop one in the back, I think, and he's going to get the free kick.
Gee, they're trying to clear the stoppage with quick hands, Port, but they keep giving it to teammates under enormous pressure, and that's a pretty ordinary kick going forward.
It's a very poor kick. That's Williams will keep it in play, but he almost slips. Shepherding sees him clear. Comes back towards centre wing. Fasolo a target, but outnumbered more. With a little bit of time and space, goes short. It's going to be okay.
Change of ends for Fasolo. This is a great kick.
Newton's kick is okay.
That's not a bad way to make an impact when you come on as sub Ben Newton. That's just a beautiful left foot kick. Good vision. He found the space for Monfries to lead into. Now an important kick for Port.
The short kick from Moore was important there too, Jace. They'd missed that centre-half forward target the last couple of entries. They'd bombed it in. That little chip to Newton was important.
Yeah, they've been very wasteful by foot, Port.
Monfries back in the side this week. Hasn't goaled to date today. And that's a shocker.
No one in the scoreline.
Nobody anywhere for Port.
That was an absolute shocker. So no addition to the score.
Oh, the handball over the
Goldsack
ready.
Goes long back towards centre wing, and it's Jonas who thumps it away from Reed. over the boundary line.
He's failed to make the journey from 30 metres, Angus Monfries.
And there's a lesson for young kids at home. Make sure you have someone on the goal line regardless of how far out the person having the shot is. Moore kicks smothered. Back in to mop up his own. Ebert run down. Did manufacture a kick. Rolling ball. Attack from Hartler. Went to ground. Ben Newton again. Got a handball up. Back to Boak. Flicks it wide. Winds. No one to go to. Keefe makes the safe option.
Well, credit to Collingwood. They looked as if they were losing a grip on this game about 8 or 9 minutes ago, and their defensive acts have been quite superb. There were 2 or 3 tackles there. Jesse White, Lumumba, Lockie Keefe, the smother. They've willed their way back into this game with a 5-point lead.
30 seconds left. Lobe tries to rake it out. Collingwood get numbers around it. Hold it in, down to 20.
No surprise, there's only one kick in it. It's 294 possessions apiece, 37 to 35 the inside 50s.
Big pack around it. White. Shepherd's off. Pendlebury gets a chance. Elliott the sidestep. Takes off. Crowd don't know how long left. Polak hands it up. They need a quick kick inside 50 to a target. Down to 5 seconds. Goes to Impey. Thumps a long ball. Siren might sound with the ball in the air. Schultz under it. 3/4 time. And still, we're no closer to knowing who's going to win it. 5 points the margin at 3/4 time. After 5 points was the margin at half time. After 9 points was the margin Collingwood's way at quarter time. Big role to play for him.
Taking off a tall, bringing on an extra runner. Jared Witts goes to full forward. Pies need to maintain their intense pressure. They've been a lot better than Port at pressure and tackling. If they do it for another 30 minutes, they can win.
Like the move from Buckley. More run gives White a chance to express himself through the middle of the ground.
So White into the ruck, beams off the deck, gets it to half forward. Huge early opportunity for Collingwood. Broomhead hassles it towards Dwyer, just couldn't quite pick it and go.
Always interesting when you start the captain on the bench at the start of the final term. Their gun midfielder Scott Pendlebury starting on the bench. Fascinating for me. You'd think that he'd start straight after 3/4 time.
Yeah, just having a rub of the legs, having a look at the lay of the land. He's been terrific again. 25 possessions, Pendlebury.
Lobby to Ebert, but it's now Lumumba into the square, and Holmes chops it off. Takes his time and then just flicks it short. It's going to be okay. Impey.
Dangerous for Collingwood. When Port Adelaide are allowed to go up that middle, it opens them up. They go wide, which means the next kick generally comes inside, or they'll cross it all the way back.
Monfries goes back from whence it came to Impey, who wants to cut right across the ground. He could go to Broadbent. In fact, that's the man he's targeted.
They did that well. They sucked Witts out of the way, and Broadbent just opens them up.
And now they have got a chance to run Jonas. Well, Broadbent still going. Broadbent kicks them inside 50. They need a mark. Wingard went half an hour too early.
Back here, Chad, back here, thanks.
And Goldsack is going to be the recipient of the free kick.
Well, right now, Chad Wingard needs to just stay within the train tracks.
Yeah. That was a touch of the ridiculous, wasn't it, Jared? It was actually a kick to his advantage.
Yeah.
Goldsack comes back towards the wing, Witt's territory. Couldn't take the mark. Hobbs from a standing start. An ugly-looking punt falls onto the chest of Frost.
Just having a look at the Witts move to full forward in this last quarter. He needs to be able to be a marking target and take a couple of marks if he's to pay his way down there, because they'll run off him out of that back line. You can see it again here. Hobbs looking to get involved.
Hartler. 4-goal game so far. Goes inboard dangerously. Crutch. Ball hits the deck. Beams. Lumumba beams. Put down after.
Gee, their pressure has been brilliant, Collingwood. Every time Port's tried to go into the corridor, they've jumped on them. They've created the turnover.
I'm very much with Kingy, though. There's a big question mark on Jared Witts. Whether or not, if you're going to keep him on the ground and not sub out another big, then I reckon he's got to go rotating through the bench. They just look a better side with the run here at the moment, Port Adelaide.
Armstrong uses McCaffer.
Wonder if there's method in the madness, Jared, of doing it early in the quarter, which is while Pendlebury's having a spell on the bench, getting away with it while the game's still fresh early in the fourth term before the real legs come into it.
So maybe he grabs this one.
Wits and Cloak there. Couldn't quite make it work and get a ball in.
First goal for Collingwood would certainly be a major bonus. They lead by 5 points. McCaffer ripped off the footy. An opportunity for Dwyer.
Missed targets.
Bouncing ball missed. And now a chance for Port Adelaide to
missed
clear.
Missed him.
That was Newton, the sub, who's come onto the ground. Keefe couldn't handle it. Out the back door goes Wines. Now they've got an opportunity. Newton flicks it wider still. Inside 50. That's better. Montfries takes the mark. 40 out.
I don't think he'd be rushing this one or trying to spot up a pass. He turned one over in the second quarter when he had Schultz in the goal square. Couldn't get it there quick enough. We saw him in the third term just shank the laces off one. It was a set shot from a similar angle, similar side. So he just needs to go back, focus on his routine and get the kick he needs here.
Told he has 15 seconds. This to regain the lead for Port Adelaide.
And on comes the skipper, Pendlebury.
Kicking from 45 metres. The drop punt is on its way. That's a better looking kick and he's got it. Port are back in front.
Good goal from Montfries. It was a really soft turnover from Collingwood though. They had a couple of opportunities, one going inside forward 50, ball went to ground. They had another clearance, it came out, had half a dozen opportunities, Port Adelaide, or players they could have dished the ball out to. But in the finish it was a one-on-one battle in the middle, and Keefe just didn't have the flexibility or the mobility to kill the ball.
Back from a couple of weeks off with a hamstring, Angus Montfries.
Saw Ben Newton involved with a hand pass in that chain. He's had some important touches since he's come on.
Been on the list 4 years. This is his fourth game, Ben Newton. White pumps it long. Cloak one-on-one. Carlisle. Cloak!
Well, they put White in the middle for exactly that reason. Not just to tap the balls to somebody, to get the ball after the clearance, to get on your bike, to move the ball forward, and that's exactly what he did.
From directly out. Should nail it from there. He's kicked 2-1. Straddled start, deliberate approach. Collingwood back in front.
Got the one-on-one he wanted. Good long direct kick, and he had front spot, and poor old Alapati Carlisle, he just couldn't, as try as he might, he could not move Travis Cloak. He was too strong. He was like a giant statue, just immovable.
Great hands from Broomhead. And they look a better side, Kingy, with Wits off the ground. I think they're going to rotate their ruckman, I think go one-on-one. And I think that extra run out of that forward line and defensive run will suit them better.
There's Nick Maxwell after doing his lap of honour today to say farewell to the Collingwood army. They're probably a little tense at the moment, but they have regained the lead. It's a 5-point ball game. Time at this stage certainly not a factor, but it could well be in 15 minutes or so. Now an opportunity for Moore to Boak. Can Port reply?
Great pressure.
Claim, loses the footy. Westhoff, that was a good tackle too. Boak gets wrapped up, loses the football. Now the pressure's building even more. Pendlebury goes over the top. Couldn't take the footy with him. Moore's hand pass astray. Broomhead goes with the left foot in towards full forward. No mark taken. Port have got the numbers there if they can get clear. They can't, however. Still an opportunity for Adams. It bounces away from the goal, however, and goes over the boundary line in the right forward pocket.
Well, they've got a player in Tim Broomhead. He has been superb in those clinches. He was involved in the last goal, and he was involved a couple of times in that particular passage of play.
There'd be some irony in that. The former Port Adelaide player beats Port Adelaide. Back into play. Knocked out, Boak missed it. Pendlebury wraps him up. No prior opportunity, but again, perfect spot for a ball up. Top of the goal square. Ruckman are not allowed to thump it through on the full. Side by side, tap down, Pendlebury. Rolled just in the tackle, gets it up just in time. Going to throw a tea towel over 20 of them here. Blood rule. Okay, checked him out.
Collingwood have got 2 back. Porter got 2 extras at the clearance.
2 ruckmen there as well. Pendlebury again in the middle of the heat. Takes the heat.
Can we clear it this time? 3rd time lucky. Or will the umpire find something? Slapped away. Moore goes over the top of Lumumba. Let's go for a 4th.
And the 2 extras for Porter just sitting at the back of the stoppage. So if they win the ball, you can see the 2 loose ones there, just at the back of the stoppage.
Travis Cloak looks like he's alone, and McCaffrey's gone on to Hartley.
Pendlebury, was he held? Was he held? No, said the umpire. Play on. Hartlett soccers off the ground. Gets it out of the 50. Langdon effective spoil. That was good. The Montfrey's hand pass is okay. Boak slipped. Takes it back once again. Like lightning tries to find Pittard. He's claimed. Broomhead, can he get clear? No, he can't. A little toe poke goes nowhere. Corns couldn't do anything with it. Adams now pumps it high in towards the square. And a courageous mark is taken by O'Shea. Boy, this is tense and tight. Still anyone's game. Out of defence they come through Impey. Now towards centre wing. Westhoff just come back on. Couldn't take the mark, however. And it's claimed by Dwyer. He steadies down.
Been a bit of their Achilles heel, hasn't it? Those foot skills at critical times, Port Adelaide.
Keefe laterally, side bottom.
They may need to look at Hartlett behind the ball here. They may need to use some class on the way out. At the moment, Impey, O'Shea, these types of players just blasting the ball out of there and giving it back to Collingwood.
Collingwood have just moved 2 in off the bench, so they should get an overlap if he comes this side, which he's not.
Side bottom to White, gets low. Showing some poise here, Collingwood.
They're going small on the forward line there, Collingwood. Blair is on his own at full forward. Cloak up on the wing.
Side bottom to make amends for that little spill. Just couldn't quite flick the handball up. Beams goes to the square. Broadbent fist on it. Carlisle content to see it out. One kick in it. Spot in the 8 on the line for Collingwood. If they can hold on. Back into play. Lobe front spot. Flicks it down to Beams though. Side bottom. Goes for the miracle.
Great.
Off Westhoff. Gets the stat for his reward. Pumps it outside 50. Schultz. Frost. Armstrong. Goldsack. Twist out of trouble. Back to Armstrong. Opens it up to Williams. Sizes it up. Thinks about it. Goes for home and sprays it.
Yeah, he had a big thing about it. He could have run, attacked him and had the shot, but he was in 2 minds. He wanted to pass, and then when he didn't have anything, he almost had the shot as a last resort.
Spray received a spray too from Travis Cloak, who was on the burst up the middle. Just wanted it out in front.
So still the 5-point buffer favouring the Pies. Williams will have another crack at going 4.
Good decision.
Gets the hand pass away towards Adams. Another one to Lumumba. Heredia outside 50. Towards Cloak. Got a hand to it, but that was all. At the back, however, it doesn't matter because side bottom is there. And he's given them an 11-point breathing space. Sidey gets his 2nd. He kicked 1 in the 3rd. That one is of considerably more importance. They lead by 11 points.
And under pressure, he just went to the dangerous spot. Top of the square, it was essentially going to Cloak. But this was a one-on-one battle. And Sidebottom, who's been pretty good, finishes off with a big goal.
Just ghosted in at the back of the square, didn't he? He reads it beautifully, Steele Sidebottom.
Wits onto the ground and White off the ground. I think that's their best structure at the present time. They look better with more run, holding Port Adelaide if they get it inside their forward 50, Collingwood.
Inside 50 numbers there in the final term. The Collingwood chant rings around the MCG. They were beaten here by Port Adelaide in the elimination final last year. Port Adelaide ended their season. They could put a massive dent in Port Adelaide's year right here, right now.
One of the things that's impressed me the most with Collingwood is we spoke about Port Adelaide having the week off. Can they freshen their legs up? Collingwood's run has been exceptional. They don't look like they're going to tire at all.
Ladder finishes like that end of the year. Going to be Collingwood Port in another elimination final. Wines. Hopsch. Long bomb. Got plenty on it. And gold sack.
He pushed him into the post. He'll get a free kick here. He doesn't even know it's a gold sack. He just gets a helping hand here.
I think he wanted to push him out of the contest.
I think he wanted to push him under the ball. Exactly.
But still.
Robbie Gray got his hands on the ball and he needs to find a little bit of footy. I know he's been in bed with the flu, etc., but he's out on the ground and he's one of their match winners.
Solo all the way back to Frost.
Don't you appreciate that padding on the posts?
Armstrong screaming for it, all alone for 5 or 6 seconds, but he was ignored. Towards McCaffrey. Needs assistance. Here goes Adams. Through the middle. Cloak's a long way from home. He's 75 metres. He can go short to Elliott.
Well, they're outrunning Port Adelaide. This has been impressive. Super impressive from Collingwood.
Are you convinced in the theory that the week off actually is your advantage? Because to me, the body's a machine. Collingwood had a tough hit out against Adelaide last week. I reckon that's a better preparation.
Yeah, I understand what you say, but I thought given that Port Adelaide had dropped off for the last 5 or 6 weeks, they needed to do something different to actually revitalise themselves, and maybe a freshman week would have helped them, but it doesn't appear to have assisted them.
I reckon it's assisted them, but it may not get them across the line. I think it may well end up being a 2-week process.
Well, we know how they finished in the first half of the season in final quarters. Elliott's riding this all the way, but he's away to the right.
And it doesn't mean they can't win, but they're not travelling as well as Collingwood just at this last 5 minutes.
Jared, they can hit 3 or 4 targets down the corridor here and really play some aggressive football. This actually forces them now to take big risks. They can do it. We've seen them do it all year, and here's one right now.
So the kick straight down the middle to take it on, and a good pluck in the middle from Keefe. Exactly 2 kicks in it right now, 12 points.
They hit the nail on the head, Kingy. They could hit some targets in the corridor, but you've got to have them there. People have got to be aware of what's happening.
Well played.
Big fist. He's kept it away, but Collingwood have the numbers. Hartlett goes back, tried the layer tackle. Langdon flicks it wide. Side bottom, a huge impact. Short. Mark taken by Adams.
Possession number 27 for Taylor Adams.
It's one of his best games for this club.
Yep. Cloak lurking. He's going to go up. What about that for a pluck?
Now that is the mark of a bloke that's getting paid close enough to $1 million a year, who's regarded as an elite tall forward, who has not been in the best of form in the last 6 or 7 weeks, but that was just a great mark which sets up a chance to perhaps kick a match-winning goal.
To make it a 3-goal lead. Big mark. Not the big finish.
Geez, it looked good from here.
Gee, that did look okay from here.
Really good from here.
It deserved a goal, the mark, but not to be. It could turn out to be a vital point in the end.
Yeah. Well, they're all over him. The only thing they haven't done, Collingwood, is put Port away on the scoreboard.
Vital points are one thing, Sandy, but you'd reckon you'd prefer the snag.
No doubt about that. 13 points the margin as Broadbent comes out of defence. Dwyer's going to try and chop this off. Little man did well.
But they've done their homework so well, Collingwood. They've cut off the angles. They've made Port kick to positions they don't want to kick to, or kick to situations that were a lot less open than they would otherwise hope.
And a disappointing crowd of 32,804.
It was bring a friend for free day too for Collingwood.
They'd have to be a good friend, given how cold it is. It's winter.
Robbie Gray's at the bottom of the pack.
You want to be a better friend yourself, put on a fireplace and a barbie at my place and we'll watch it on TV.
Meter, guys, get the meter.
Was it a goal?
Gee, it looked good from where we were.
Or over the post.
Right over the top of the post.
Great decision by the goal umpire.
Didn't want to review it.
Didn't need to. He was confident.
Over the line.
Had his positioning correct.
Wish we had have had that way back when Libba's kick went over the post or either side of the post.
Yeah.
Anthony Rocker's phoned in. Anthony Rocker as well, Jared. He's phoned in.
He's run.
Yeah, don't open old wounds, boys.
Side bottom started it off, and he may finish it off. He's tucked on the boundary line. He wobbles it in towards full forward. No one at home. However, Broadbent dropped what he should have taken and then headed for defensive territory very, very smartly.
Okay, 37 minutes of play remaining. They've just got to find a way to get the ball into Westhoff's hands. He was the best player they had in the third quarter, along with Hamish Hartlett. He's touched it just the once in this term.
Holmes keeps it alive. Time is of the essence. Boak can't get it away, and he's a little hurt to the rib.
And again, we saw a hand pass from Holmes, a little floater over the top that put Boak under pressure. Collingwood's ability to shut down Port and take away their time has been absolutely first class today.
White doing the ruck work again. Lobe with the flick back. Gray pounces on it. O'Shea, not a lot to go to. Polek. Gray.
There it is again.
Bumped on the kick. Open side. Holmes about to pounce. Broadbent the runner. Wants to go up the middle.
That's the kick.
Polek can go. Lumumba hunts him down. Heads wide. Winds. Little nudge Armstrong. Okay. Schultz. 50 out. And brought down. Didn't have it.
And fair enough. Ollie Wines was a little bit stiff. There was definitely a nudge out.
A few teammates just pointing to the goal. Go back and kick it. He's a beautiful kick, right on his distance limit, but you put back against him.
Checking the ball to see which is the good end.
You always look at the seam. Always look at the seam.
And he is one of the best kicks we've ever seen. Looks at the scoreboard. He knows 20 minutes gone. Doesn't hit it all that well. Touched on the line. Brought back into play. Might get a second grab at it. Does.
He'll kick from the same spot.
At least
Can
he's out of sight.
Can you kick it half a metre further?
I reckon he might be half a metre closer.
You know what was extraordinary about the touch on the line? That it was punched back into the goal square instead of marked or pushed through for a behind.
There he is looking at the seam again. Yep.
Palmed it back into play.
And still side bottom could have come over the top with a punch and rim past the ball.
To make it an 8-point margin.
He's gone higher.
Gets more shoe on it this time. Touched on the line again.
It was exactly the same spot.
Oh, dear.
The upside is he knows his range.
I'll tell you what, he was accurate both times too.
So the margin is 13 points, and we've got 5.5 minutes remaining. Pendlebury's been sensational. 27 disposals. Frost tucked in the back pocket. Wants to switch play. He may go all the way. Westhoff's lurking again. He had to beat a couple. He's down. The Pies remain up. Goldsack does a 360.
He was
gives
clever.
it back to Armstrong.
He had to buy time because there was nothing to kick to.
Armstrong finds Broomhead. Time rapidly becoming the enemy of Port Adelaide. Broomhead goes along to the outer side. Side bottom and Broadbent. Broadbent gets a hand to it. Side bottom's got him covered, however. Not before he got the footy away. They desperately need a goal. Not going to get it here. O'Shea caught one high.
No advantage. No advantage. It doesn't matter, mate. Still high.
Cloakey can argue all he likes. He won't beat the umpire.
Line, mate, line.
Headed short. But they're just having trouble scoring.
Yep.
That's the problem. And time is running out. So they look towards the centre wing area. Pinnock's kick was short.
Ebert
They've got
desperate for the
Ebert.
ball.
He's been screaming for it. Now he's away. Ebert, down the line he goes. They need a mark. Wingard was there. But Montfrees also. Montfrees couldn't get near the ball. And we've got a throw in.
I remember doing a game in Wangaratta with you as a pre-season game, and we saw Lockie Keefe and Jack Frost as the key defenders, and we were just saying how desperately they needed Reid. Well, both of those guys have improved enormously through the year.
Gray to Homsch. Schultz about to fly, buffeted out of it, still goes up. Westhoff, one hand knockdown. He was hoping for Wingard. Lays the tackle. Collingwood hold it in.
That's been
3
the big
goals
win.
in 3.5 minutes.
Sorry, Dwayne, I think they've really missed Matty White today, Port Adelaide. Just his speed on the outside to break the lines, to really get that ball speed generated off half-back. He's been a bad omission for them the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
13 points the margin. Lobe does the ruck work, down to Gray. And it's exactly 2 kicks the difference.
Tyson Goldsack, superb. It looked to be a beautiful clearance where he'd stroll into the open goal. Look at him gasping. He made that last-ditch effort to get there. A diving tackle to put pressure on Gray as he snapped for goal.
Armstrong into Dwyer, who's still tucked in the pocket. Now Goldsack.
Just about making good decisions. Find the easy kicks.
Exactly 3.5 minutes remaining. Back to Armstrong in the other pocket. He comes back to Dwyer in the other pocket.
It's all valuable time to chew off the clock.
It is. It's just ticking away down to 3:16.
And then when there's no easy kick on, you play the percentages long down the line.
That's the way they head. Big pack of players, including that was Witts. No mark taken. McCaffer tries to soccer off the ground. The door opens for Gray. He gets it away. Now a chance for Newton, the sub. Inside 50, they need a mark. Westhoff was there but couldn't provide it. Wingard had to apply a tackle, then goes again. Goes to ground. Pies with the numbers. Kick, however, was partly smothered. Frost, not tall enough, couldn't take it. Dwyer towards the boundary line. Dwyer keeps it in play. Gives it off to Heretier Lumumba, and away he comes. Back towards the half-back line. Elliott was a target. He had to beat a couple here. Robbie Gray chips in. Still not right. Back to Boak he goes. Here's an opportunity. Gives it to O'Shea. O'Shea to Lobe. Back to Boak. It's a proppy hand pass. A little too much on it. Hartlett tucked in the sidelines. They need a mark here, but it's all Collingwood. And they steady down with Fasolo. Just over 2 minutes remaining.
He can just hold it now.
Yeah, they've had all the answers, Collingwood. Position themselves well. That +1 down back. And the pressure around the ball further afield has forced Port to kick long and quick at times, like that last one, straight to the loose defender.
Keefe. He's been superb today, Keefe. He has been playing on not just his own man, but he's covered long balls in a number of times.
Touch play on, bad option. Beams around the body. O'Shea gets back. Every second vital now for Port Adelaide. Straight down the middle. 2 kicks the difference. Pitted. Handball off. Westhoff. Corns. The float kick. And Langdon gets there. And that should seal the deal.
Yeah, Kenny Hinkley's seen enough. He hasn't kicked well today, Kane Corns. He's been soundly beaten by Dane Beams the majority of the game he's played on. But he's only kicking at 36%.
Fasolo to Williams to Frost. A minute remaining. And Collingwood about to step back into the top 8. McCaffer applies the tackle on Moore. The ball spills free and it's over the line. Ebert off, Gray on in the closing seconds of the match. Hasn't been the same Robbie Gray we've come to know though today. Beams.
He's had some clearances.
Busy once again. Hobbs repels. Goes towards Broadbent on the outer side. Broadbent is away. They need a mark desperately. And he can't waste any time. Ollie Wines. Wines lopes away. He's got to beat a couple. And he does. He gets them inside towards 50 and Polak. Polak goes short. Here could be one. More marks. And he's 40 metres out. But he's got to be very, very quick. Clock continues to tick. Down to 12 seconds. Here's the kick from Moore. He kicks from 42. It's a good-looking kick. A great-looking kick, but all too late with just 4 seconds remaining on the clock.
The best Port Adelaide could possibly hope for is a draw. Quick clearance, free kick. Ken Hinkley knows it, 4 seconds left. Collingwood cannot lose from here.
Yeah, be careful. Dwayne. There's ruckman involved.
Yeah, but even something crazy, something we've never seen in the history of the game before.
Freakish.
What about
It is freak-work.
imagine if you gave away a centre square infringement right now to start with, which chews no time off the clock,
And a 50-metre penalty.
You just walk straight to the station. You wouldn't go to the rooms.
4 seconds left.
and they've all bunched deep.
Only time for one crazy clearance. And that should do it. Huge roar from the Collingwood faithful. And is Collingwood picking up the pieces for a big finish to 2014? 4 weeks of footy left. And a massive 4 weeks to come against teams in the next 3 weeks, all below them on the ladder. And they're inside the top 8 tonight. 11-10-76 to 10-10-70.
You mentioned those next 3 games, Dwayne. You're right, the Eagles, Brisbane and the Giants, but then they cop their bogey team in the final home and away round, and that is Hawthorn. But they've been able to hang on today and record an excellent victory to find themselves back in the 8th, and David King is with one of the stars of the day.